In the heart of a desolate countryside, nestled amid ancient oaks and overgrown thorns, stood the ominous Blackwood Manor, an abandoned residence with a dark history. Locals whispered about its cursed halls and the sinister events that had unfolded within. Superstitions warned of evil spirits and restless souls trapped in eternal torment. I, however, never believed in such tales, but my curiosity led me to explore the foreboding dwelling. The day I decided to enter the decaying manor, the heavens wept, and the sky seemed to mourn my decision. Reluctantly, I stepped through the broken gate and approached the looming edifice. The moment I crossed the threshold, an overwhelming sense of foreboding enveloped me. The air was thick with an unsettling chill, and a faint scent of decay lingered. Shadows danced across the walls, taking on eerie forms that seemed to mock my presence. As I ventured further into the dark recesses of the manor, I discovered a hidden chamber in the basement, a room that sent shivers down my spine. Inside, I found cryptic symbols etched into the walls, an unsettling altar adorned with long-forgotten offerings, and a weathered book bound in dark leather, a forbidden book of unspeakable incantations. Though I knew better than to delve into the mysterious book, my curiosity got the better of me. I deciphered the cryptic text with trepidation, unaware of the ancient evil that slumbered within its pages. As I read the passages aloud, the room seemed to grow colder, and the air crackled with arcane energy. Unbeknownst to me, my actions had unwittingly unleashed an ancient wickedness that had been confined within the manor for centuries. An evil spirit, once bound by spells of ancient sorcery, was now free to roam the world of the living, seeking vengeance and wreaking havoc upon the innocent. The sinister presence wasted no time in revealing its cruel intentions. Shadows lurked around every corner, and chilling whispers echoed through the halls, tormenting my mind and sanity. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, only to find cold sweat clinging to my brow. I had visions of gruesome deaths and unspeakable horrors. This spirit toyed with my subconscious and my body, pushing me to the edge of madness. I would find inexplicable bruises and scratches on my body, as if I had been involved in a violent struggle. Suddenly, on this harrowing night, as the moon shone faintly through the decrepit windows, I heard a faint creaking sound. It drew me to the attic, where the entity awaited. Lurking in the darkness, I felt an invisible force enveloping me, constricting my chest and making it hard to breathe. My fear, my vulnerability, they were all weapons the entity used against me. Desperate to escape its clutches, I tried to recite the ancient incantations from the Book of Spells. But the spirit's rage intensified, filling the room with a suffocating evil presence. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, and I turned to witness a horrifying sight. A spectral figure emerged from the shadows, a ghastly manifestation of the spirit's fury. In its spectral grasp was another unfortunate soul who had dared to venture into the manor, a young woman. Her terrified eyes met mine, and I could feel her desperate plea for help. Before I could react, the spirit twisted its spectral form, and the woman's body contorted in agony. A grotesque display of violence ensued, blood splattering across the attic floor as if it were a gruesome canvas. Frozen in terror, I could do nothing but watch as the spirit fed off the woman's life force, leaving her lifeless body crumpled on the ground. Her death was an unspeakable tragedy, a horrifying testament to the entity's thirst for destruction. Tears streamed down my face as I realized the extent of the evil that now inhabited the manor. It had claimed an innocent life, and I knew that I could be its next victim. In a desperate bid to survive, I fled the manor, leaving behind the book and all remnants of my ill-fated exploration. But the horrors of Blackwood Manor would forever haunt my nightmares, a constant reminder of the wicked entity that lurked within its walls. The sinister conclave of terror within that ancient dwelling remained a warning to all who dared to seek its secrets. The evil entity, now unshackled from its age-old prison, would forever roam the halls of the manor, leaving a trail of terror and death in its wake. As I sought to escape the evil's grasp on my fragile psyche, I delved into the history of Blackwood Manor, uncovering tales of sinister rituals, cursed possessions, and the tragic fates of those who had once lived there. It was said that the manor had been built atop an ancient burial ground, its very foundation steeped in sorrow and pure evil. the spirit that haunted the manor was said to be that of an evil sorcerer who had dabbled in dark magic centuries ago. Legend spoke of his insatiable hunger for power, his thirst for immortality. As his malevolence grew, so did the suffering of the innocent souls who crossed his path. Some accounts told of secret cults that had congregated in the manor, practicing forbidden rituals to appease the entity. The cursed altar in the hidden chamber had been the site of countless sacrifices, each one fueling the spirit's insatiable hunger for destruction. As the spirit unleashed its wrath upon me, I could feel its malevolence seeping into my very soul. My sanity began to waver, and I knew that if I didn't escape the manor's clutches, I would become just another tragic tale in its dark history. The fury of the evil spirit was palpable, an overwhelming force that radiated from every corner of the manor. It was as if the very essence of malevolence had taken form, lashing out at me with relentless aggression. The storm outside seemed to mirror the turmoil within, the thunder echoing its anger, and the rain pounding against the windows like the spirit's relentless assault. As I stepped further into the manor, the entity's fury intensified. It was as if this dark force could sense my defiance, and it erupted with a viciousness that shook the very foundation of the house. The walls trembled, and the floors quaked under the force of its rage. The air crackled with malicious energy, electrified with the spirit's malevolence. I could feel its anger closing in around me, suffocating, and threatening to consume me entirely. Each step felt like wading through an ocean of animosity, and the weight of its evil pressed upon my chest, making it hard to breathe. Yet, despite the overwhelming terror, I pressed on with the book of spells clutched tightly in my trembling hands. The ancient words of purification escaped my lips, my voice faltering at first, but growing stronger with each chant. The air around me seemed to grow heavy with resistance, as if the evil spirit was fighting back with all its might. As the incantations continued, the entity's fury intensified, unleashing a barrage of sinister manifestations. Shadows danced on the walls, twisting into grotesque shapes that seemed to mock my efforts. Flickering lights created an otherworldly dance of illumination and darkness, and the temperature dropped to a bone-chilling coldness. Yet, I persisted, my heart fueled by determination and a will to survive. The storm outside seemed to rage in tandem with the spirit's onslaught, as if the heavens themselves were protesting my defiance. But with each chant, I could sense the malevolent force weakening, its grip on the manor loosening. It fought back with all the fury it could muster, but I was resolute, channeling the power of the spells to break the chains that bound it to this world. As the final words of purification left my lips, there was a blinding burst of light, as if the heavens themselves had intervened. The malevolent spirit began to dissipate, its form unraveling like a sinister tapestry, and the tremors that had shaken the manor subsided. For a moment, there was silence, a heavy, haunting silence that seemed to stretch on for an eternity. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the storm outside ceased, and the manor fell still. The spirit had been banished, and the house seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. I collapsed to my knees, my body trembling with exhaustion and relief. The ordeal had left me weakened, but the entity that had once tormented the manor was finally gone. The darkness that had gripped the house for centuries had been vanquished, and a sense of peace settled over the once foreboding dwelling. As I slowly made my way out of the manor, I couldn't help but look back at the sinister conclave that had nearly claimed my life. The manor stood silent and still, no longer a presence lurking within, but the victory was bittersweet, for I had paid a heavy price in my quest to free myself from the clutches of the malevolent entity. The horrors I had witnessed, the lives I had seen snuffed out, it was a burden that would forever weigh on my soul. In the aftermath, Blackwood Manor remained a haunted monument to the malevolent force that had once held sway within its walls. The house stood as a testament to the enduring power of evil, forever etched in the memories of those who dared to venture within. As for me, I would forever carry the scars of my encounter with the evil spirit, a constant reminder of the night I stared into the abyss and emerged forever changed. The sins of the sinister conclave would echo in my nightmares, and the memory of those whose lives were claimed by its malevolence would haunt me until the end of my days. But I had learned a bitter lesson, that evil existed in the world, and that some things were better left undisturbed, left to languish in the shadows where they belonged. And so, I vowed never to speak of my harrowing ordeal, To keep the secrets of Blackwood